Hello, 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 everyone. I am Denise Evans. This is the Making Change podcast, and we are talking about women in tech. The next guest that I have is absolutely amazing. I've known her for at least 5 or 6 years, but these last 18 months were the first time I actually got to work with her on a team. Nicole Gurrier is not only an exceptional employee, but she's a phenomenal mom. So, Nicole, thank you so much for taking time out of your day. I know that time is money. And Nicole, I wanted to tell you this and the guest. I woke up this morning and there was something going on with my left eye. Lisa Lopez. Okay. Don't ask me what it is, but I'm not high. There's been no ganja today. So I just want you to know what's going on. But Nicole, thank you so much. Let's jump in. Nicole, give us some background about yourself, anything that you would like the audience to know.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Nicole. Thank you for having me. Um,
Yeah.
so I am working at Intuit. I've been there for 5 years. I was a contractor for a year, and then I got hired on permanently for the past four. I'm originally from Connecticut. My father retired from the fire department and moved out here. We had some family that had moved out here earlier when I was very young. So we were always coming to Tucson for vacations and Christmas and Thanksgiving and things like that. And I graduated from the University of Arizona in 18.
Nice.
Yeah. And had
Nice.
my major was gender and women's studies and then a double minor in anthropology and sociology. And
Absolutely amazing.
yeah,
And look, we love the U of A. We love the U of A. So we got to rep the U of A
yeah.
always. So let me ask you something. What brought you to Intuit and what are your duties in the position that you currently hold?
So prior to well, after graduating, I actually moved to Phoenix and I lived there for about 5 years and working a couple different jobs. And one of the jobs I had found up there was through a staffing agency. So then when I moved back
Mm.
to Tucson, my sister was pregnant with her third child, and I'm really close with my family. And so I just felt like it was time to move back and be with them again. And so I found a staffing agency, and one of the positions was with Intuit. So I got, did the interview and got hired. And then, like I said, after about a year of contracting, a position opened up on order management, and I applied for it and interviewed and did a presentation and was chosen. So that was very, very, very exciting. Or
So awesome.
yeah, I mean, it's been really nice. I What we kind of do is just a lot of background work for um, different orders. We'll place just to kind of make everything seem seamless. So if they're called exceptions, so we have to fix those. So basically, from like the time that the agent places an order and the customer getting it, it's streamlined and no one knows that we're doing behind the scenes, things, everything
Yes.
runs smoothly. Yeah.
Yeah. And I always want to let people know because, and I say it over and over again, just to let people know, Intuit makes the TurboTax software. They also make the QuickBooks accounting
Yeah.
software. So that way people can really kind of put into perspective what the products are that you're
Yeah.
supporting. Because what the finance department does is amazing. What made me want to interview all of you was that I got to be a part of your systems and tools demo. It was the first time I had ever seen anything like that at Intuit, and you all worked so harmoniously together as a group. What someone else was lacking, someone else picked up,
Yes.
and you really did exhibit what teamwork looks like.
Yeah.
So that is the reason that I wanted to highlight you ladies, because although you play the background, what you do in the finance department is so pivotal to the everyday operations of Intuit. So just to let people know why we're here and when we're having this conversation. So Nicole, before landing into the tech world, what did you do? What was your background?
Yeah. So after graduating, I moved up to Phoenix. I had a friend that had bought a condo up there in Scottsdale, and she invited me to come up. At first, I was thinking about different nonprofit organizations, but then she's an artist herself, and so uh, one of her friends worked at um, International Artist Publishing, and there was a
Nice.
position open in the marketing department, marketing and advertising, and so I applied for that and got hired onto that. That was a blast, and then a little bit after that, I ended up working for North American Lubricants. There's only so many places in the U.S. that actually make synthetic oil or make a synthetic blend, and we were kind
Mm.
of middlemen that would get our customers, our clients, the oil from the production places. So I did a lot of logistics, inventory, and then placing orders, and just custom.
Wow. And it kind of fits right in and segues into the work that you're doing now. So that is so cool. What is it like being a woman in the world of tech, and do you feel seen and supported?
I do. I feel like at Intuit, I do. I feel like they're really, I don't know, good with their employees. I feel like we have a really strong team, and so that might also be why I feel that way. I feel like our
Yes.
manager is a really great, absolutely great person. I feel like she tried to help our voices be heard.
Hmm.
Had higher ups come down about a month or two ago to do the demo, and even prior to that, as one of the like head people came down just to see what we do and what our points were, and it was just really nice to finally feel like, okay, everything that we do, because we do 64 different inputs. um
Yes.
Sometimes there's over 1,000 records to work in a day, and there's only 13 of us, 12, 13 of us, depending on how many contracts.
Hmm.
There's also only so many full-time employees.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what
And
makes it really.
I think, yes. And what is so cool about your team is the diversity that is on the team, because you all come from so many different walks of life. And at any given time, there are 12 or 13 of you. Only one is a guy. And I always shout out Levi. I always shout him out. But to see how well you all work together with all of those different personalities is absolutely amazing. It just is. Nicole, we were all in the house for about 2 years during the pandemic. What was that transition like, going from working at home, having the conveniences of being right around the corner from your bedroom, your bathroom, to now going into the office a couple of days a week? What has that been like for you?
So for me, I have a 2-year-old daughter, just about 2.5. So she's
Yes.
a baby. Um, so during, working from home, it was obviously really nice. Well, for me, it was being pregnant, being able just to, not feel that.
Definitely.
My sister's a hairdresser, so she would tell me how many people, would touch her, and
Yeah.
it was just such a relax, and it was just beautiful. So then when I went back into the office, of course, at first, because it had been, over 2 years, I was a little apprehensive, but getting back in there, we only are in the office on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and it was just so nice
Yeah.
seeing people again, interacting. You can just interact in such a different way face to face than you can, through Slack and even Zoom.
So true.
Yeah. And I think for me too, because whether it's my partner watching her or my parents, when I'm actually at home, the boundaries aren't really there. Um,
Get it.
if anyone has an issue, or even if it's just like, oh, we have to go run and do this real quick, you know, hey,
Yep.
but I try to make it so if my door is shut to my office, please don't bother.
Yeah.
Um,
That's good stuff.
so that's
Yeah.
always
I love it.
kind of hard. So it is nice when I'm at work. I feel like I can just completely focus on work, and I don't feel guilty about anything.
Yes. Yes. Now, we touched on the fact that you have a 2.5-year-old. She is beautiful. Okay. She is full of life. What is that work life balance like for you, being a full time mom and a full time employee?
Well, I mean, it's difficult at times. I do feel really lucky that I do have the support of my partner, and as well as my parents. And so even today, she came over just to watch her for a little bit in the morning because my parents,
Nice.
an appointment
Nice.
to, and Rox had his work, so it's been hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to kind of juggle everything, so he can kind of fill in when I need him, and he's there, for me. But so are my parents, and then so is my sister. Everyone kind of figures it out. So
Yeah.
supported, and again, I feel really, really lucky about that. And then I feel just in general with Intuit, they are very supportive of having a family, and they understand when you need to make time or to juggle something around. you know
So
I've
true.
never
So true.
actually felt that they meant it, that they give you
Yeah.
benefits and then they actually mean it's okay for you to use them.
Yes. And it is so nice to have a strong support system. It really is. It's nice to have people to fall back on. I am blessed to have that also. My mother is out here. So it's just nice to have that solid support system. Nicole, one of the things that you touched on earlier was the fact that when you first started off at Intuit, you were a contractor.
Mhm.
What was that like transitioning into the role of a full-time employee coming from that uncertainty
Yeah.
of being a contractor?
Well, I mean, because, yeah, for me, it was, I felt, I did feel like part of the team, even when I was a contractor. However, there are a lot of different meetings, all hands,
Yeah,
state of the companies that you weren't going to get to be a part of if you were a contractor.
yeah. Accessibility looks different as a
Yeah,
contractor.
and it did make you feel then not a part. Like, it was definitely called out. Um,
Yeah,
that you weren't. And, even just the term contractor versus full time employee, I just
yeah,
felt permanent and contractor because, as a contractor, I'm like, but I am working
yeah,
time. I am a full,
yeah.
you know, um,
Exactly.
you know, yeah,
Yeah,
just makes you feel a little like not super connected, especially when whatever
yeah,
you're talking about, the rest of the team members are going to hear about it and, or, end up seeing it. So,
yeah, yeah. And it's nothing like that togetherness that you feel
yeah.
as a full-time employee and that camaraderie that comes with it, and not to mention the perks and the benefits. Nicole, let me ask you another question. We touched on the fact that your team is primarily comprised of women.
Mhm.
What has that been like? What is that experience like?
I love it. I was kind of surprised that
Yeah,
long as well as they do because again, because we have contractors, that's going to be different people. So the people
yeah,
that are there all the time, it's like, our core group of
yeah.
of women. But then as with the
Hmm.
contractors coming in, that's always new personalities, but everyone's so supportive, everyone's so hardworking, everyone steps up to not just what they need to do or what they're assigned to, but whenever you know help with something, someone's there.
Yes,
I'm
yes,
on with the training documents for everything that we do. We've been updating them.
yes,
It's been a very long process, but it's, you have the support, whether
yes,
you're there someone face to face, and it's been really really nice. And I do feel lucky that everyone gets along as well as they do.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And you can see that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about as soon as you enter the space,
Yeah.
you just feel there's a warmth, but there's also, I think, a familiarity
Yes.
because most of us do actually start off as contractors and then go into the role of full-time employees. So by this time, you've kind of made your
Mhm.
rounds and you kind of know who people are. So I can honestly say it's an amazing team, hands down. Nicole, we talked about this before and we kind of touched on this on, being a contractor versus being a full-time employee. What are some of the benefits and the perks that you get from working at Intuit?
Yeah. Well, one thing they do offer it for contractors as well with the
Mhm.
development time. So we do get
Yeah.
2 hours a week of being able to develop
Yes.
ourselves, where we actually stop whatever the work is that we're supposed to be doing for the day. And
Hmm.
you can get certified in whatever you're interested in. You can take
Hmm.
courses on Degreed. They really make that available and make sure that you're using those 2 hours for yourself. Um,
Yeah.
However, being a permanent employee, there's definitely some other benefits. They offer
Yeah.
anything, so you get a certain amount of money a year to be able to spend on anything wellness related. Um,
Yes.
COVID, they did change it, so it was open to more
Hmm.
things, um, just to kind of help everyone out with the time
Yeah.
that we were going through. Um,
Yeah.
Also family support time. That's been really great. You get a certain amount of hours a year. In
Yes.
them, and I've been able to use that with my daughter when we need to go up to Phoenix. So again, it's so you're not just taking out of your vacation or using up all your sick time.
Yes.
We also
Yes.
we care and give back. So they offer every employee, you get 40 hours of volunteer hours, and you do
Yes.
it in a group. So we actually went just last Wednesday to
Right.
or yeah, what is it? The Pima Animal Care Center, and we
Hmm.
volunteered there, and that was really fun. And so it was all of our teams, so that was really great. And then you can also do it individually. um, I think recently, within the last like 2 years or so, I've done junior achievement, and then that was
Love doing your achievement. Love it.
and then we also did the community food bank maybe about 6 months ago, and that was really fun.
Wow.
Yeah, so
And it's so awesome because not often do you find jobs that actually encourage you to go out into the community and to give back?
Yeah.
So that is what is so awesome. And Intuit does that at all of its locations, which makes it so great. So you're actually giving back to the community that you serve, which is awesome.
About a month ago, they had different companies come in, and then that way the whole office could participate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Absolutely amazing. And it ups engagement.
hmm
So let me ask you this. We are rounding home. Okay. Any advice you would give to a woman looking to break into the tech field?
yeah, I would definitely say try different things, because you don't really know what you're going to like unless you try them all. Uh,
Mhm.
Ask questions, talk to people, try to find a mentor, and really just never stop learning.
Yeah. Yeah. All great advice. All great advice. Now, one other question, because I like to hit people with this, because hindsight in 2020 is just always amazing. What advice would you give to the younger Nicole?
I think for me, it definitely would be that it's okay that you don't know what you want to do.
Yeah.
I've had
Yeah.
different types of jobs. And I've always wanted to be one of those people that, knew in first grade that I wanted to do, this as a
Yeah.
career, that I followed that path. And for me, that has been so many different things. But I think what's been so great, it has exposed me to so many different people. It has exposed me to so many different things that I didn't even realize